Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of the South Jersey Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm here with a very good friend and co-host, John Lorenzo, the founder of South Jersey Entrepreneurs. And we also have here our podcast sponsor, Pete Caniglia, co-founder of Suburban Collective. John, tell us a little bit about the story behind South Jersey Entrepreneurs and our podcast.
Yeah. So South Jersey Entrepreneurs was born just out of my passion for entrepreneurship. I started as an entrepreneur when I was 22 years old. And when I was just getting started in the business, I really didn't see anything out there to help startups, especially in South Jersey. There was nowhere where I could connect with other South Jersey entrepreneurs who were just getting started. There was nowhere really that I knew that had a lot of the resources that could connect me to those resources. So I wanted to really create something to focus on that market. There's some really great organizations out there that focus more on, not focus, but it's a little bit more for the established entrepreneurs and businesses. But there's nothing really out there to help the people who are just getting started. And that, I think, is one of the most important stages of a business. I mean, your first 5 years is where businesses either make it or break it. So if we can create an organization where we can create these social meetups and connect these entrepreneurs to like-minded people who are in a similar situation as them, leave the tie at home is what we like to say, because we want to create this open environment where people are comfortable connecting with each other and they can connect and make entrepreneurial friends. Because quite honestly, that has been one of the biggest things for me during my career, is surrounding myself with friends who are also entrepreneurs, because we all get it. The other things that we want to do is provide some workshops or panel discussions to help create just more skills, build some skills, and then create the resources and partnerships with the other organizations who can take it to the next level. Our other big goal is to create a 3-day conference for South Jersey entrepreneurs. Back in the day, I used to be part of a franchise, and the part that I miss most about being part of a franchise was having the support system of other franchisees. Not so much going and getting the support from like headquarters, but really just knowing that there are other people in a similar situation as me who have the same struggle, same questions, and being able to call on them, because we all experience the same questions and challenges. It's just different stages and different times. That was huge. So I want to be able to create this 3-day conference in South Jersey where we're able to have workshops, have panel discussions, but more importantly, create relationships, because those relationships will carry you and everybody way beyond that conference throughout the year. We can't have events all the time, right? So if we can create these relationships and create this platform, those relationships will carry everybody throughout the year. So that's the whole story behind South Jersey Entrepreneurs.
I love it. And the one thing that I want to touch on that you said is that we help them through the process. A lot of these workshops that you go to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to be that. But how do you do it? And I think that's where South Jersey Entrepreneurs really differentiates itself, is that we kind of coach these young professionals and young small business owners that here's how you do it. And here's a bunch of people in the same room who are in the same boat, in the same stage, or they've been where you were and can help you work through it and kind of give you that little bit of mentorship or that coaching. And, you know, that's something that I need. And I'm so happy to be a part of this. And I think what you're doing with this organization is fantastic. And, you know, this podcast, I'm so excited to do this. And I hope you guys are too. And I'm hoping that it doesn't just help those listening, but it also helps us as well, you know. Yeah. Being, on the board, and, you know, we're always looking for ways to help and learning along with the SJE community, you know, and a huge thanks to Pete at Suburban Collective, because this podcast would not be possible without them. So Pete, thanks so much for taking the time to come out and getting us all set up. You've been a great partner with us and have really helped us out so much since our launch back in January. Yeah. So Pete, just give us a little background on yourself and Suburban.
Yeah, of course. Well, first, thank you guys. I have to thank John for helping me out. He was kind of the one that put the idea in my head to, you know, start my own business. You know, I was really passionate about marketing, but I didn't really know where I wanted to go. You know, I had a day job. It's, you know, it's nice, but I really want to work for myself. I really want to do what I want to do, create my own brand. So basically, Suburban Collective is me and my co-founder, Steve. We both have a set of skills that we think we can work with each other and, be able to create a solid business model. We focus a lot on digital marketing, content creation, such as, podcasts like this, videography, photos. I'm on the audio engineering side for music, and eventually want to work into the long-term marketing plans for different businesses and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of just the general gist of right now.
That's awesome, Pete. So when did you start this business?
About 6 months ago in January, I started.
Wow. So you're like new. That's
very
awesome.
New, yeah.
Only being 6 months in, you've accomplished so much already. We're in a podcast now.
Yeah.
You're helping out with all this cool stuff and having a lot of fun. So, but the one thing that actually we wanted to ask you is, aside from your goals and your game plan to grow and things you've already accomplished, I'm sure you have times where you're scared and you fear some things. And what are some things that keep you up at night?
So I would say probably my biggest fear is making the full-time leap into being an entrepreneur. I feel like that's a lot of people's fears. Being able to leave your day job and say, I don't need the security anymore. I am secure in myself, and I can, make that full-time leap. Because once you're on your own, you're on your own. There's no, I'll just work more hours and I'll make the money, or, I can take sick days here and there and just, I'll make the money. It's, you're out on your own. You're making your own money, and, sometimes the work doesn't come in. So that's probably one of my biggest fears at the moment, but, I'm looking forward to eventually making that transition and overcoming that.
Right. That's scary. The scary part is the inconsistency to me.
Yeah.
So I'd be scared if I didn't know if work was coming in. Like young adults, have our bills now. We have rent if we're not living at home still. We have car payments and this and that. And we still want to go have fun with our friends. And, we don't want to be that 23, 25-year-old not being, no, I can't go to the bar. No. And you want to have fun, and you want to have that balance of that work life, social life, and sleep, and
it's hard.
Nutrition and staying in shape. I think young business owners who start that business fresh out of college and are the people who have maybe even the hardest of times, because that adjustment from going I have a full-time job, I'm stable, I'm getting a consistent paycheck, to now, do I really want to make this leap right away? Do I really want to do this? I know it's what I love to do, but that inconsistency is a little scary. Yeah. Right. And I can relate to that. Everybody can, no matter how old they are. That inconsistency is scary.
And that's definitely something that we want to hit home for is, it's not just young entrepreneurs as far as their age. It's really the age that of their business. Where are you in your development of your business? Because we see entrepreneurs that are, fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, and even no offense, but fresh off of getting fired from their career. And now they're like, hey, what do I do? How am I, we see it all the time. We see a lot of entrepreneurs who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. There's no bad time to start a business, but certainly that initial fear of taking that first step of saying, hey, I'm going to do this on my own, that's a fear that we all have. It doesn't matter what age you are. You're always going to be like, holy crap, can I do this? There's people who depend on me. There's me who depends on me. Right?
Yeah.
There's how am I going to do this? So if we can use this podcast to share the stories of other established entrepreneurs who have all had that same feeling. Let's go through those ups, downs. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's I'm not sure if people have seen that kind of iceberg picture, right? Where a lot of people on social media and just in general, they see the top, right? They see what is the iceberg as far as above the ocean, the glamour and all that stuff.
And the money and stuff.
But we know as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of shit beneath the ocean that nobody sees. There's a lot of stuff that you don't see, the struggles, the pain, the blood, sweat, and tears. That's the stuff that creates that business. And if we can use this podcast to kind of paint that picture of, hey, it's not going to be easy. It's certainly not. It's going to be the hardest thing that you probably that you do with your life, but it will probably be the most rewarding thing you ever do with your life. Creating that, it's awesome.
Exactly, especially if you have a passion for it. Like you said, you love music, you love the audio part. It's something that just drives that fire in you. That it's something you want to do, and it's really, if you have that passion, you're going to succeed no matter what, because that passion overrides any type of doubt or insecurity.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree. Even in my music career, times where I've just been like, oh, I'm going to put this down. I can't do it anymore. It's not working. And I put it down and I look at it, my guitar, and I go, nah, never mind. I can't.
Exactly. Your heart's nope.
You're as hard as it, you want to just, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of failing. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to keep pushing. And then eventually, will take off for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to stay consistent and have that grit and know that it's not going to happen overnight. But if I stay with it, if I stay consistent and I understand that this process is bigger than myself, that I think is what really takes businesses to the next level. It takes them from being a side hustle and an idea to this is my full-time gig. And if you don't have passion and pride for what you do, good luck.
Yeah.
You're just not going to make it. Yeah. People see right through the bullshit.
Yeah.
So you have to be real, have to live it, breathe it, and be passionate about what you're doing. And, just do it. You got to take that first step. It's the hardest thing, but you got to take that first step and take that leap of faith.
Definitely. And, we meet people all the time and we hear these stories all the time, and I'd love to hear them. And Pete, we're so happy that we have you here to tell us about your journey so far. And we're so excited to see where you take this, because I can tell you have such a passion for it and you're so excited every time you talk about it. And it just it kind of lights a fire under me too. It's like, wow, you know what? I want to do better with my job. I want to accomplish this. And it kind of drives me to, take that next step that maybe I'm just kind of avoiding because I'm a little scared.
You've taken the step. You've got your coaching. You've got your coaching gig. Come on, don't sugarcoat it.
I know. So, besides like the stuff that scares you, I know you've only been in the business 6 months, and to some people it's like, that's not a lot of time, but starting off, 6 months it's a sustainable amount of time. It's a substantial amount of time. Mm-hmm. So what are the things that you love about what you do now? And have you had a moment yet where you're like, yes, I can do this?
Yeah. So, it's been super short, and 6 months, it's half a year, and it's still, it feels like it blew right by. I feel like I was just talking to John, hey, we should, you should try to start your own business. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like great. I've always wanted to do it, but I've never had someone say, go for it.
Yeah.
And, it finally dawned on me, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I really should do that. And, when I first started out, I was a little skeptical for the first few months. I was like, well, it's going to be really hard kind of get it going, get people to get into it and stuff like that. But then, we did have a couple of clients start rolling in, and I was like, I guess the epiphany kind of dawned on me. I was working. I was like, how does this work? I was like, this is so fun.
Yeah,
I was like,
fun. Yeah,
I was sitting there, and I was
exactly.
just like, I felt it's so funny because you feel like you're like, oh man, I'm slacking off. You're like, no, I'm not. I'm doing my work. I was like, it's just fun, and it's weird. It's a weird feeling to say wow, I can't wait to get up and go to work and do what I want to do. And that was kind of the point where I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This feels right. I've had other jobs, and this what feels right. So
you guys should see how I have a big goofy smile on my face, because I love hearing this, and it's this is the stuff that I want all business owners to actually have this feeling one day. And I know it's tough for those listening who maybe are in a rough spot in their business and maybe are just looking for some guidance. You're gonna get there, and it's just finding the right people to help mentor you, and just talk to people. Ask them how they got where they were. Don't just follow them on Instagram and see how they're driving these nice cars and have all these money and they're all these vacations all the time because their business is doing so well. You don't know the stuff that went behind it and the hard work. And that's something that no matter what point in time you're in or wherever you're at in your journey, everyone has a story.
Yeah.
Everyone has an idea that they don't know if they should do it or not. And everyone has obstacles and trying times. We want to show those current startup and future business owners, maybe those who are afraid to take that leap that you did, Pete, and show them that your dream is achievable.
Yeah. You
can do this. We're here to share the stories of the ups and the downs of starting your business. We're bringing you the glamour and the grit that goes behind it. So, Pete, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so excited to see where you take this. And, we'll follow up with Pete in later episodes. But in the future, we're going to be bringing on some guest speakers to discuss their journey. We're going to be talking about the ups and the downs of their business as an entrepreneur starting out to where they're currently at now, their biggest turning points, and also ask them what piece of advice they would give to their younger self. One cool thing that we're also going to be including is a follower segment where you can ask us questions. Our Instagram followers can DM us or, just shoot us a question on the comments, and, we'll feature 1 or 2 questions on future episodes. And, we can ask us, you can ask the guests that's going to appear. So go ahead, slide right in our DMs, ask us a question, shoot your shot.
Yeah. We want to know. Feedback is super important. We want to make this a very impactful organization. So tell us how we can help you. Tell us what resources that you need. We don't know what we don't know. So unless we get feedback from our followers and our target market, we're just shooting in the dark. So
Right.
help us, guide us, tell us what we need to do and how we can help you. And just know that we're going to be working our butts off behind the scenes to make that happen.
Definitely. Let us know what you guys want to hear. So I think
Cool.
awesome. Well, that's a wrap.
Episode 1
First
in the book.
episode.
Yeah.
Woo.
Dude.
Cool.
I'm excited. This is going to be great.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for like almost a year now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
today we were actually supposed to do this as a dry run, but we said screw it. Let's
Screw it.
Let's see
Let's
what
Don't
do
waste
it.
no more time.
No wasting
Yeah.
any more time. So thank you, Pete. Thank you, Jackie, for being our host.
Thank you,
you,
John.
guys.
We wouldn't be here without a team, right? It's always bigger than ourselves.
Yep. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Also, follow us on social media at SJE Entrepreneurs and go ahead on Instagram, ask them some questions to be featured on an episode. So we're
Yeah.
excited.
Awesome.
It's a
Let's
wrap.
do it.
We're out.
Yeah.